Hi, everyone. Welcome to Real Beans, the show where we pair cinema with coffee. And today I have two special guests with me returning, Marc Pyskaty and Kathryn Horan. Welcome to the Danger Zone.
Right, there you go.
Reporting for duty.
That's right. And if you haven't guessed already, we are doing Top Gun. This is my first glimpse into this world. Never have seen the movie before. And it's I seem to be this summer and marking off all these films that I'd meant to see many moons ago, but just hadn't got around to seeing yet. So Top Gun is now checked off my list of the cultural movies of the 1980s. And
Did
thanks
you
to Marc,
see it in the movie theater?
Okay, so
There's a whole story here.
this will be my little vent for moviegoers who are like myself, who really want the best experience possible. So I went to AMC because it's the 40th anniversary of Top Gun, and they were doing a special event in the theater. And I got my ticket, and I was so excited because I had just seen Raiders of the Lost Ark in the theater with a group of people, and that was amazing.
Oh,
And
God.
then I thought, this is going to be just as great. It's going to be perfect. I get in, sit down, and then the Paramount logo comes up, and I noticed that there's 3 screens in this theater. There is one in front and then 2 on the sides. And I was like, what's going on? I don't know what is this? I don't recall. I don't understand. And all of a sudden the credits start rolling and you start hearing the danger zone. I'm like, okay, but I'm still seeing things on my right and left sides of my peripheral, and everything was stretched out. The movie was completely stretched, and I felt like the credits were like right on top of me, and then the planes started going, the fighter jets started flying everywhere, and I got so sick.
Oh, no.
So I got up and I had to leave. So unfortunately, I did not get to see it because Top Gun was not filmed to be in this style of theater. And so half the time when I was watching, I couldn't pay attention to the front of the screen because something would be happening on the left or right side, but it wasn't anything important. So it was distracting with that. And I think maybe if the movie had been filmed with that in mind when they originally did it, probably would have been just fine, because when I was doing some research about this ScreenX is what they call it in the AMC,
ScreenX.
people had similar complaints to what I was having especially films that were not made this way. But ones that were, they all seemed to be fine with. So I'm sure that if it had been a different experience, it probably would have been fine to just sit and enjoy myself. But I think just because my mind was just like trying to focus on everything, and with all the action going on, it was just not a good experience. So I ended up leaving for the night and going the next night over to Kathryn's house to watch it with her.
Oh, you saw it with Kathryn.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
So
Yeah,
I still got to see it with a
ScreenX.
couple people. So
Yeah, ScreenX is a love-hate relationship. I saw ScreenX for F1, and it was the first experience I did that, and I didn't like it either. Because nothing was happening on the sides. It was just completely distracting, and and it was like when the race scenes happen, you see like the sides, but it's all blurry, and it's just like, well, why is it even like, that I just don't see the 4X experience, why people like want this to be a thing. Like, I do enjoy the 4DX where you're moving around and jolting, and you're gonna get your spinal like snapped in half when I saw Superman. the Superman movie, and I almost fell out of the chair. But when I saw Alien Romulus in 40X, it was a blast. I mean, they had when the acid was spit from the alien's mouth, you could like smell this like iron metallic uh smell, and with the face huggers like on the ground. They had blasts of airs like shooting out at your feet. It was great. It was great. But this 4X stuff, I agree, Benjamin.
Yeah,
I think
I feel like
it's a nightmare.
yeah, I feel like as you say, it's going to be a love-hate relationship. But I think maybe less action films, like films that are more intimate or more. I feel like I just saw the movie Hokum, and I think maybe that would have been just fine if it had been in the 3 dimensions,
Hmm.
because you're already in an enclosed space, at an uncomfortable situation as it is, so it's like makes sense. Um, but anyway, I implore the AMC folks that when they take a movie that a classic like Top Gun, or even I know they're going to be showing like The Birdcage and others from the 90s and 80s, to not put it in these screens because of just it's just going to make it. And I know I'm probably in the minority, because I'm sure I was the only person who got up and left during it, because most people just seem to just be sitting there eating their popcorn out of their Top Gun helmets that they were giving away.
You didn't get one?
No,
Shame on
no.
you. Shame on
I mean, a $40 bucket of popcorn.
you. Yeah, I get it.
Maybe if I had stayed for the whole movie, I would have bought one afterwards. But anyway, but
No.
and so let's begin with the coffee, because this does pertain to Top Gun with its high voltage and extreme aerial effects with the fighter jets, and we're drinking what is called Nitro Cold Brew. And Nitro
Mm.
Cold Brew is a really cool invention for coffee, because you have the nitrogen just sitting inside, just waiting to be opened up, and it's just like it's a much bigger sound than opening up a soda pop that's in a can, but it has that same feeling to it. And so when you open it, you hear that. And so it's a big pow, as if like the plane is about to be pushed forward with this amount of gas. And what is nice about the cold brews and the nitro cold brews is because of how they're made, they're not as acidic. They're very smooth. They do have a heavier weight to them in terms of the texture and taste. And they make a nice little foam at the top of it. Oh, I can already smell the scent is like very chocolately and very
Hmm.
it
Like a
smells
caramel.
the caramel tasting. And Kathryn has
Mine smells very much like caramel because I've
Kathryn
got the
has a
caramel
caramel
flavor.
version of it, and I believe Mark and I have just the regular
The
nitro
regular
cold
one.
brew. Um,
It's delish.
it's very, very good, and that little foam at the top of it just really makes
Mhm.
it almost like I've said it's similar to when you get a beer from a tap and the foam rises from the beer at the top. It's very similar in that respect when you pour it into your glass. And the texture is smooth and the smell is nice. And it's not, I find nitro brews less bitter than a regular cold brew that wasn't done with nitro, because usually the cold brews can be very, very bitter. And that's when yes, since I'm a black coffee drinker, with cold brews, sometimes I'll throw in some milk to combat that bitterness, because the iced coffee seems to be a lot more bitter tasting than just a regular black hot coffee, which is funny. But
Well, in honor of Top Gun, I'm just gonna shoot it.
oh boy,
I know
you're
it's
really
nice
going
and
to go on
smooth,
all
like you said. It's
speeds
not
there, all
bitter.
cylinders.
It's got a nice kind of milky quality to it.
Mm-hmm.
Just
That's like,
drank it all.
oh my goodness.
You're gonna be
Well,
wired.
that's exactly what Maverick would have done.
That's right, Benjamin.
See,
I am
I
dangerous.
and Goose would have just been sipping it nicely and been like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we'll get through this."
that's right.
And Iceman would just be rolling his eyes and
Well, in honor of Top Gun also, I also have my Zen 6 milligram coffee. So I got that nicotine just flying into my system. And of course, I have my ice water
Yes.
because that's what he likes to drink.
Oh, yes. What was the what does Charlie say?
I'll have what he's having, ice water.
Right.
Because he's too cool. He's too cool just to be drowning his sorrows in beer. He's
Yeah.
having an ice water. He's got to
Uh,
be crisp, clear, and on point.
Exactly. Especially when you're in the fighter jets, because man, oh man, the sequences with all the fighter jets are completely amazing. And for 1986, the special effects are so grounded and so realistic that you don't even feel that they're in front of any type of green screen, especially when you're in the cockpit with both of them at
Yeah,
the
it's
same
pretty
time.
seamless cutting back and forth between the actual film footage of fighter jets and then them on a soundstage somewhere, being filmed. You can't really tell. They do it very, very seamlessly.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
and
sure. They basically just made a gimbal. It was all set on a gimbal, and they just sprayed water on their faces to make them look all hot and, you know, whatnot, and they're just jerking around left and right, and it's seamless, Kathryn. It's awesome.
Yeah, and the fact that they were able to get the military involved to come in to actually do the fighter pilots' actual aerial sequences really shows that the lengths that they went to make this as authentic as possible instead of just being just your regular run-of-the-mill action flick. And I had read that when they went to the military to ask about this, they wanted to read the whole script, go through it all, and make sure that it wasn't a comedy against the aviators, and it was just funny to just see like that you have the Hollywood people and then you have the military people, and the military people are like, no, we want it authentic. Everything has to be, they're not going to be doing this. They're not going to be doing that. They wouldn't be with having a love interest. And then you have the Hollywood folks like, no, the audience wants to see, they want to see the love interest. They want to see the volleyball sequence. They want to see this. It's just funny to see like the differences between the two, where you have logic versus fantasy.
Well, and it worked out being pretty perfect propaganda for the Navy too, because recruitment skyrocketed after this movie came out. So
Yeah, it went up like 40%.
right.
Gosh, it's crazy. And that opening sequence is when we have the intro and the credits rolling, and you see the fighter pilots just flying off of the carrier.
Yeah.
Really sets the tone for the movie right away. And as I wrote down that Maverick, you see exactly who Maverick is in this whole sequence, where he just kind of like, I'm going to do things my way, and this is the way it's going to be. And we see how that works out for him later on as he gets tapped to go to the Top Guns. Mark, why don't you tell a little bit about
why I love Top Gun so much?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was, 12 years old and almost going on 13 when the original Top Gun came out in 1986, placing me at an absolute peak age for the movie to come out. It put a permanent mark on my life, and I'm knocking over stuff now. I mean, what does Top Gun deliver on on a 13-year-old boy? I mean, it's adulthood, it's confidence, it's coolness, and when a 13-year-old kid watches this, especially me, I wanted to be Maverick. I wanted to ride a Kawasaki Ninja. I wanted, the aviator glasses, the Ray-Ban aviator glasses with the tight white shirt and the leather jacket, with the patches on it. I mean, damn it. I mean, how cool is that back in the 1980s to experience something like that? But Top Gun it's just so many other things. It's a film so tightly crafted and molded for an absolute adrenaline ride. I mean, the soundtrack has 3 bangers: Danger Zone, Take My Breath Away, which is, I think, the best song on the whole entire soundtrack. And of course, Playing with the Boys. Maybe Kathryn thinks that's the best one. That it's
been in my head all week.
yeah, I mean, it's Kenny Loggins. I mean,
Right.
he's the
He did the
sound.
peak of his powers.
Yeah, I mean, he
Footloose and Caddyshack.
Yeah, he was the king of soundtracks, in the 80s. And when he came out, I mean, he already did Caddyshack. He already did Footloose. And so when he comes out with this banger, I mean, he's the king of all soundtracks when it comes to, those just rocking good songs and those adrenaline songs that just, gets you going for this film, for Top Gun. And just let alone just the Top Gun theme song for this. It's iconic. I mean, I think it's like I think 82% of the world knows this song, this like theme song. And I think I'm lowballing it. It could be 90%, but we got kids now that's never seen, Top Gun, like Benjamin. These damn kids just saving the best for last. And I'm so jealous, Benjamin, like how you just crafted your life and to just watch all these great iconic films now. And like Kathryn got to experience you watching it for the first time just makes me giddy all over. I mean, I'm jealous. But yeah, it's my point is that, there are movies and then there are our era films defining classics, and Top Gun is one of them, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And it's just a film that just makes me happy. I've seen this film, I know, over 100 times. I have. It's just one of those things I could have playing in the background, and you just recite the lines. I've seen. I went to the 35th anniversary, or when they were re-releasing Maverick, and I went to the movie theater, and Brian and I, we were just reciting lines left and right out into, the theater, and everybody was, joking and laughing. Like nobody was going into that theater, like not ever seeing it before, except Benjamin. Benjamin's the only one that does that, which is crazy. I love it. Yeah. And of course, like as a almost 13-year-old watching Top Gun in the movie theater, I mean, these characters, these pilots were kind of like superheroes. I mean, they had superhero names. You got Maverick, you got Goose, you got Viper, you got Cougar, you got Sundown, you got Jester, you got Wolfman, Hollywood. I mean, they all had like superhero names. They all like just insonified like just the best of the best, just like what Top Gun was. And so they seem like superheroes to me, and you got the guy, getting the girl. I was, just getting out of adolescence and going through puberty. I was like, yeah, get the girl, get the older girl, It was just fun to watch. And you watch, it's like the most amazing love scene in the 1980s, in my opinion, with Take My Breath Away. We'll get to that later.
I think I made a note about that. I said the 80s had the most sensual, intimate moments in any film. I mean, all those 80s films just were like ripe with that.
I wrote, why don't movies have love themes anymore? Like that was definitely a thing in the 80s. Every movie had a
good soundtracks.
Yeah,
I missed the soundtracks.
Right. And of course, since we're talking about the love scene, I mean, it's a perfect Tony Scott blue ground background, in the back. I mean, he used that for true romance. I mean, he loves that, love making blue background. And then, of course, I mean, since we're talking about the love scene, we got to talk about the tongue from the belly button all the way up to the chin. Now, as a 13-year-old, you think that's what you're supposed to do because no one's teaching you how to make love, right? So unfortunately, one of my first sexual encounters, I'm going to do that. My head's going down. Don't worry. This is going to be G-rated.
You and the Maverick.
I'm going to do the Maverick. And so this young lady's thinking I'm going to go a little bit maybe further somewhere. Nope. I stop at the belly button. I start licking all the way up to the chin. And she's probably going, what's this guy doing? And I'm thinking in my head as a young 17-year-old, this is what you do. This is what Maverick did. You learn from the movies.
Well, that's it. As we know, the movies are real life.
Like, no one taught me how to do this. You learn from the films, and Top Gun was like really huge for me. I was like, yeah, I'm going to be Maverick and I'm going to knock her socks off. And I
Yeah, and
didn't.
Like, I always think of this as the perfect date movie because it really just kinda has
Yes.
something for everybody, for the guys, it's got the pilots and the air sequences and all that stuff. For the women, you've got the love story in there, you've got the volleyball scene, so there's something in here for everybody to enjoy.
when I watch movies, I get that feeling of like you can tell when a movie is geared toward one specific type of
Mhm.
person, but then when there's something that is for everybody, like for me going into this movie, I was like, I don't know if this is my kind of movie. I'm not really into these action adventure movies, and I don't know what I'm going to think about this. But I was like, wow, this is really like fun and exciting. And as with everything, everyone can enjoy something about it, and
Mm.
it's not. You don't have to sit back and really like focus on something. And even with the harder moments that come up in the film,
Yeah, there is one flaw. We'll get to that, but there is one flaw in Top Gun because I do think it's almost a perfect film, almost a perfect film. But we'll get to that when we get to that.
now, I don't think with Kathryn now with Top Gun, because you've got right now you're wearing your T-shirt and you've got the cup,
I got
coffee cup. What drew you to this particular film and enjoying it?
So it's kind of a culmination, it's the perfect storm of things. Um, I've always been a huge Tom Cruise fan. He's always been one of my favorite actors. He was probably my first movie crush. Even though there are things about his life that are controversial and maybe not the best, he's
What's
still an actor. I'll
controversial?
go see him in anything. I will stand up for him all the time. Um,
Me too.
but it was the first time I saw it. I was probably around Mark's age when he first saw it. I was around 11 or 12. And it sounds cooler than it was. My mom was taking flying lessons, and her flight instructor said, "Hey, you should watch this movie called Top Gun." And so we rented it and watched it as a family. Uh, but it was one of those things, like, I saw it and I just fell in love with it, and, yeah, it's Tom Cruise, it's a really cool movie, Val Kilmer was in it, and I loved him too, I love the soundtrack. That was another big thing. I still count this as my number 1 movie soundtrack of all time.
Atta
Um,
girl.
I have it on cassette tape. That's how
Yes.
I had it. Um, but I remember, like, the Top Gun theme, the Harold Faltermeyer, theme song for this. I remember figuring out how to play it on the piano because I just wanted to be able to play that. Just other things like that. Little things just stick with me. I can do the pencil thing that Iceman does, and,
Okay.
just you're at that age, you're just trying to be cool like all of them, I wanna do
Yeah,
that. Um
I can do that. I think I did this
So
in
it's just one
school
of those
quite a
things. I
bit.
saw it at the right time, at the right age. It had all the things I was looking for in a film, and I just fell in love with it. And it's, you know, consistently, I consider it one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, and
Ugh.
we can talk. You were talking about Tom Cruise, and I haven't seen, which shocking I know for myself. I haven't seen that many Tom Cruise films.
Not
Only,
shocking at all, Benjamin. Not
only,
shocking at
only
all.
I've seen this, and I've seen Tropic Thunder,
That's a fun
Awesome.
and maybe Mission Impossible, the first one. But
So you
I
haven't
have
seen
on my
Rain
list.
Man?
I have such
Oh,
such
Rain
sights
Man.
to
Yes,
show you then.
I've seen Rain Man. But I do have now on my list. I need to see Risky Business and
The Color of
maybe
Money?
Color of Money,
Born
which
on the
has
4th of
Paul
July.
Newman in it. Born on the 4th of July, and I know
Oh, God bless
Magnolia.
you,
Magnolia.
Benjamin. I love you. I envy you so much. I really do. God bless you.
But when I was watching Top Gun and Tom Cruise comes on, and I mean, he is the penultimate movie star. And all I can say when I first saw him, like, who can say no to that smile, that little
Right?
grin,
Yeah.
that
Right?
smirk that he gives? It's like, come on. I mean, and even though he has been a controversial figure, I think with any actor, you can kind of separate between the person and the actor, I think, and
Well, this was
100%.
pre-Scientology, so it's
right,
100%.
exactly.
But,
Um,
yeah, go ahead.
so yeah, I mean, No, when I also was doing some research on this before I even watched the movie, I was talking with Kathryn earlier about like the cast of this film is a who's who of wonderful actors who have gone on, who were just starting off and moving on to big things like Tim Robbins and of course Meg Ryan,
Mhm.
who would then she really has like does the most with her
Nothing.
short scenes. I mean, she's got nothing to
She's so
do
good in
really,
it.
but she
But
really
she does great.
we get the Meg Ryan ugly cry, which I laughed about because she gets to cry and she always has that really good ugly cry. You've got Val Kilmer, Anthony Edwards, Kelly McGillis,
Mm.
Michael Ironside, who I had
Ugh.
only known from the movie Scanners. So it was nice to see him in something that wasn't an
So
evil,
weird.
crazy person.
No heads exploding.
And always the wonderful Tom Skerritt, who is the
Oh, he's
head
so good.
Viper.
uh, as Viper. And it's just great to see. And then there are others that you've seen in other films from the 80s and 90s as well. And it's just great to see like this like big cast just doing what they
Yeah.
can do, and they do the best. I mean, Anthony Edwards, I don't think I've seen him in anything as good as Top Gun.
Well,
Um,
yeah, you gotta see, the film Gotcha.
okay.
That's, Anthony I think it's, before Top Gun? It's about him being in college, and it's about paintball, and, he's like this awesome paintball guy at this college, and then these assassins come in, and they're really trying to kill him, and he just learns he's jumping over, hedges and all that kinda stuff. It's a super fun movie, super fun
That
movie.
that sounds
Well,
like a Nintendo game that came out. It
right.
must be the same thing. There was a Nintendo game called Gotcha that had to do with paintball.
Oh,
Oh,
So
really?
I'm wondering if that was
must be.
uh because that's also where I first came across Top Gun was the NES, the Nintendo game that came out, which was just a complete miserable
Impossible.
experience. A
It's
complete miserable
impossible to
experience.
play.
Oh,
It's
terrible.
impossible. Horrible.
And so that's where I first came across this. So maybe I was like thinking, oh, the movie is just as bad as the Nintendo game. So I'm just going to avoid it for now, and I'll get to it when I get to it. So shame on Nintendo for having me wait so long. But
Oh, also a shout out to, Sundown, the actor Sundown. He was in, Die Hard. He was the black guy, the computer
Oh.
guy.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, and Tim Robbins is in this too. Did you shout him out?
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, he
Okay.
shouted him out.
yeah, he's
Merlin.
got a small. You see him, and you're like, it's Tim Robbins.
Right? You
Um,
can see his eyes.
So it's nice to see like the people who are already established,
Yeah.
and then you've got the up and comers who you know are going to become superstars
Oh,
themselves,
Yeah.
and all in one place. And I had never, and I don't think I've seen anything else with Kelly McGillis yet.
Mm.
Witness.
Witnesses are another
Witness,
big one.
I know that was what she just got done doing Witness, and then they pulled her in for this, and but I mean she's fabulous. I love her character in this because she's so they didn't write her as just sort of like just you're just the romance. You don't care. We don't really care about you. She's
Mhm.
the meat of that holds the
Mhm.
plot together, I think, especially for Maverick's character because he has to go through so many roller coaster moments.
Well, there were less scenes of Charlie and, Maverick. The love scene and the elevator scene was shot after the movie was already shot. Tom Cruise was already on set for, The Color of Money with Martin Scorsese directing it, and there was a test screening, and everybody wanted a love scene with, Charlie and Maverick, and they brought Tom Cruise back from, The Color of Money. I think, they had to halt productions for, like, 2 days, and Martin Scorsese said, "Fine, you can take them, but you have to pay for, the cost," and Tony Scott said, "Fine, that's fine." I mean, Tony Scott was paying out of his pocket left and right, by the way. There was one, golden, scene shot that Tony Scott is just famously known for, and it's the shots of the aircraft carrier, and he needed another couple minutes, and he said, "You got to turn this ship around so we get another shot." They're like, "No, we're not going to turn it around. That's crazy." He's going. How much is it going to cost? And they called, headquarters or something. They said like $25,000, for fuel and whatnot, personnel, and he's going, fine. He paid out of his pocket $25,000 just to get some extra shots in. And that's just Tony Scott. I mean, he's the maverick of this whole entire, movie. I mean, he's just a maverick filmmaker. It's unfortunate that he's so eccentric. He found out he had cancer and he killed himself. He jumped off a bridge, which is absolutely insane to even think about. But I mean, that's just who Tony Scott was. But yeah, so they brought back Tom Cruise from Color of Money, and he had longer hair, so they had to wet down his hair for the elevator scene, and they put a wig on Kelly McGillis because she was already filming another scene, and she had like red hair, so they put a baseball cap on her too, so that's why she was wearing a baseball cap. So that's just adding on scenes just to make it, more, it totally made sense. I mean, can you imagine not having a love scene in Top Gun?
Right.
It's unfathomable to me. I can't even imagine it.
And I mean, it's almost a given for any kind of, especially action adventure film, and especially a Tom Cruise film, for crying out loud.
Yeah, especially after Risky Business. My God.
But I think I remember reading that the military was like, no, we don't want to have that in here. We don't, that this whole sequence with him and Charlie, that's not necessary. We just need the fighter pilots. And then you see when the test screenings happen, what the audiences want or what they don't want. And you've got to give the audience this number one with any kind of movie.
Sex.
Because without the audience, your movie is not going to be a success. And
yeah.
And
give me
the military
give
just
me
didn't
Tom
quite understand
Cruise
that.
shirtless in a blue lit background with his pants unbuttoning just Charlie in a freaking white nightshirt. It's freaking amazing. It's hot, smoky, steamy. Give it to me.
Exactly. Plus, add on that soundtrack that we're talking
right.
about.
That's right.
I want to sing it now, but I won't. I won't do it. I can't hit those notes.
Let's talk a little bit about the friendship between Goose and Maverick, because this is another big plot point and necessary plot point for the whole movie, because we get to see sort of like a softer side of who Maverick is, and how much of a pillar Goose is for Maverick. And I just really loved this friendship because they were just so like solid with each other. They just, always together. Even when they were fighting with each other, they still were like not going to be apart. And I really thought it was it's nice to see friendships like that in movies come off as being really authentic feeling, as opposed to just being we're fighting each other. We're punching each other in the arm like, But this just felt like you could tell that they've been friends forever. And they had such good chemistry together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you really get to see it firsthand in the nightclub scene, where they're all dressed up in their white uniforms and they're at the bar and, they're eating nuts and whatnot, drinking beer. And it just, when Tom says, I think she's lost that loving feeling. No, she hasn't. Mav, no, she hasn't. God, I hate when they do that.
Right.
And they do that amazing pickup line that is so corny. It is so cringe, but you gotta love it. You gotta love it because of the camaraderie. All of the whole entire crew gets in on it. It's because this isn't the first time Mavericks pulled this. This is like textbook Maverick. He's gonna do it. He's going, oh shit, he's doing it again. But it works because the whole bar gets into it. And she's just sitting there, Charlie, and she's going, I actually haven't seen this one before. It's corny and cringy. And you got to wonder how many times that guys in the 80s tried to do this at a bar. I never have, because I knew. I said, no, everyone knows this trick. But guys have done it who have no character or anything or any interesting idea in their head. They're just, I'm going to do the Top Gun. And maybe sometimes it worked. You never know, because it is kind of that good. But he's got to have all the buddies with him, the click in on time. But
Exactly.
it is cringy though.
Yeah, none of them can sing. Um,
Would it have
I
worked
think
on you, Kathryn?
I mean, if it was Tom Cruise, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
If it was just some random
Anything
guy,
will work.
probably.
Anything
Uh,
will work if it's
but I
if
do
it's
love going
Tommy.
back to the relationship with Goose. After Charlie gets up, she ends up going to the bathroom, and Maverick follows her in there, and they have a discussion. And then you see Charlie walk out of the bathroom in front of Goose, and she says, "Your friend was excellent." And it's
Your
just the
friend was
reaction was like,
magnificent.
"What? No way."
And that's when I really liked Charlie because
Mhm.
I think she's stuck
She
up and all
she
that,
goes
but
along
she
with
was
it.
playing along. She knew
Yeah.
that there was a bet and all that kind of stuff. She's not dumb.
Yeah.
And the fact that she just walked by, she's going, "Your friend was magnificent,"
Yeah.
popping a nut in her
Right.
mouth, and Goose's face is going, "No,
No.
no, like no way."
So just them playing off each other is great. And then I love that they can also be vulnerable with each other. There's a couple different occasions where Goose is having a heart to heart with Maverick, telling him, "Hey, you make me nervous, or I don't like when you do these things. I'm
I,
trying to, provide for my family. I can't just be doing this wild stuff."
I
And
don't want to
you
drive a
see,
truck.
yeah.
and you see Maverick kind of taking that in, going, "Oh yeah, yeah." He kind of he takes it in, but he doesn't absorb it.
No.
Um, but the
Not yet.
fact that they can have that, they're honest with each other enough to have that fun, but also to have those serious talks when they need to.
And
Well,
that's why they make such a good pair in the fighter pilot, because
Yeah, exactly.
if you don't have a good relationship with your
Make it very
navigator
difficult.
and it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
And
they were perfect together. They were
yeah,
perfect. They knew exactly. They trusted each other with their lives,
Mhm.
and that's just a perfect dynamic. And also, just to go back what Kathryn was saying when Goose was like, you got to take it easy. You got to relax. I need this job. I need to support my family. Maverick did take it in. It didn't click, but he was taking it in, and he was like, yeah,
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
Goose and his wife Carol and Rooster, if you haven't seen Maverick, it's that's his family. That's all he has.
Mhm.
He
right.
doesn't have anybody else, and so I mean, he doesn't want to let him, Goose down. He wants to have a career with Goose, and then unfortunately, something tragic happens, and
Yes.
yeah,
Spoiler alert for
spoiler
anyone who
alert.
hasn't seen. If you're like me and hadn't seen the movie yet, you had no idea what was coming.
Right?
Um, we have the climactic moment where something goes wrong in the fighter jet with Maverick and Goose. They try to eject themselves out of it before they crash into the water, and Maverick gets out, but Goose's ejector seat was not functioning properly, and unfortunately, Goose dies due to this
Canopy.
malfunction. And that was when I wrote down not Goose exclamation exclamation
Right?
exclamation.
Yeah, I
You
always
didn't see
hate
it
that
coming.
part. I
You
I,
hate
didn't
I
see it coming.
I can't say that I did see it coming, even though I'm sure there was something foreshadowing somewhere
I mean, you
that
can
would.
definitely read into it that way if you want to, but
I
you
think I
also
was also like,
yeah.
no,
Yeah.
they can't do that. That. Then I'm like, yes, they have to do that for Maverick's arc to
So he can
understand
grow
what
and change and
grow and change. And I was like, gosh darn it all.
Well, to be fair, Maverick did say watch the canopy, and obviously Goose didn't watch the canopy. So
you can't victim shame, Mark.
I'm not victim shaming. I'm just saying, listen to what your pilot is saying. He should have watched the canopy. He ejected too soon. He ejected too soon.
Well, and when I was researching some of this, I came across a little article that talked about the fact that Goose's death sequence was going to be even worse than what we get in the final um, cut, because they were going to have a collision in the air,
Mhm.
and that was something that the Navy put their foot down on and said that you can't
Sure.
show that because it's going to look really negative on the Navy, and that can't happen. So they switched it to be a technical issue with the ejector chair. And I said,
Because things like that never happen
I mean,
in the Navy.
I am kind of glad that it went the way it did, because I think I would have been even more upset with the collision in the air. Because that's I mean, it happens, but that probably would have just made the movie a little sour for me, I think.
Yeah, no,
The
absolutely.
way that this happened, it's like, yes, it was a malfunction. It wasn't anyone's fault. This does happen too. So I think it was easier for me to take Goose's death that way, as opposed to if it had been like blown up in the sky or something like that. It would have been like, oh, how kind of
And it's
anticlimactic
nice
too.
too, this way you can make it so it really isn't anybody's fault. If it had been a collision, somebody would have been to blame.
Well, I
Right.
blamed Iceman for a long time because he wouldn't get out of there. He wouldn't get out of there. He wouldn't move because he wanted the shot and he was being selfish. And then and then I was just like, well, Goose was saying, "Come on, man, get in there," because Goose is just as competitive as anybody else, just because he's soft natured and such a nice guy. He's just as competitive. And the Goose was like, "Get in there, man, get in there," and that's how Maverick got into the jet wash and did the dead flat spin. And that it was just the combination of like everything. But as a young kid watching it, I hated Iceman for that. I was just like, because Iceman didn't move out. He didn't move out. I was really upset about that. But I've grown up and, well, as much as I can. And I've forgiven Iceman.
And I'm glad that the scene afterwards, when Maverick has to go back to Carol and the son, I was really glad, because a lot of times you'll have movies where they'll have the wife of a husband who's passed and be so over dramatically like, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, and
Right.
beating them and all that. And I loved the fact that Carol understood what had just happened. And I think because of the fact that Maverick is family,
Yeah.
it's like it was more a really nice emotional moment for the two of them to just really like, even though Maverick's hiding in everything, all his emotions, he's still, you see in his eyes and his reaction that he really would like to just let go and just get it all out and cry. But he can't, as Maverick, as his character, he's
Well,
not going to do that especially in front of Carol.
And I love that Carol's the one basically comforting him.
Yeah.
He can't get a word out because he's just feeling all the guilt and sorrow and shame and all that stuff. He can't even say anything, and it's just her. And she's the one that gives him a big hug.
And that one line, when she says, "God, he loved flying with you," just stab in the heart, just like, oh my God,
like,
Carol.
Let's just add a little bit more to the fire here.
Oh God, he loved flying with you. Oh, Carol, God bless you. What a wonderful woman. He should have married Carol. No, never mind. Shut up. Shut up, Mark.
Another infamous scene that we haven't discussed yet, which, Mark, I hear you have a dissertation on, which is the volleyball sequence.
Oh, yes. In fact, I do.
I told him you had a whole page of notes.
I do have a whole page of notes. Why? Because it's one of the greatest commercials in cinema history, because it's filmed like a commercial. It really is. It's like a Mentos commercial almost.
Mentos.
It really is.
That's
And
true.
it's one of the most iconic scenes in a movie. I mean, you got sweaty, gorgeous, bare-chested men with dog tags, juggling around, playing beach volleyball. Kenny Loggins' song playing with the boys in the background. You got Slider posing, just clenching his muscles. I mean, it's a great pose. What guy hasn't done that in a bathroom mirror? I know I have. But Benjamin, you better be doing it too.
I think I might have at some point as well.
Of course, why not? You're going to be doing a lot more, Benjamin. I mean, this scene was made to show friendships, friendship between Maverick Goose and Iceman and Slider. And of course, this was made for the women who were probably dragged by their boyfriends to see Top Gun for, a little like a little eye candy. Like it's all this action and all that, and they're all suited up and all that. This was for the girls too, for the ladies, and for whoever likes guys. I mean, hell, I mean, I'm straight, and I think they're all gorgeous. I'm secure enough in my manhood. I'm just going, man, these men look great. I need to start working out.
They're all completely muscle men, ready to just play volleyball. I mean, if I had seen this when I was younger, I may have wanted to start playing. I mean, I like playing volleyball, and I probably would have wanted to be on a team after watching this movie. Had I seen this as a younger kid, I probably would have been like, "Oh, this looks awesome! I'm gonna go have some beach volleyball or some sort of volleyball team, and this is gonna happen." And da 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 da.
Oh my God, I used to play volleyball back a little bit in high school and whatnot, and also just so you know, beach volleyball is so much harder than court volleyball.
You got the sand. Yeah.
You got the sand, and man, your calves will get ripped to shreds in beach volleyball. And I when I lived in Chicago back in the day, I went to North Pier and played beach volleyball, and it's hard, man. It's really hard. But of course, when I'm out there, I got my white shirt. Wore my tight jeans, took off the shirt.
Right.
Just recreating Top Gun. I've been recreating Top Gun my whole entire life. My God, I even crashed on a Kawasaki Ninja, by the way. This film has wrecked me and made me so happy my whole entire life. Little tidbit about this scene. The scene was also shot golden hour, because that's what Tony Scott loves to do, and you got to have the sunlight. Yeah, you got to get the sunlight just hitting those wet, sweaty bodies with the sand perfectly right, and he did a masterful job. Unfortunately, the executives hated this scene. Did you guys know that?
I do know it was something Tony Scott fought for.
He fought for it because they wanted to cut it because they wanted to get back to the storyline and back on track. And Tony Scott wouldn't cut it, though, thank God. Scott wanted the audience to see them not in uniform and to see them having fun for once, because all you get to see them is in the cockpit or in their uniform. So he wanted the audience to see them just in like regular civilian clothes, and he wanted like everyone to see the camaraderie between Slider and Iceman and Maverick and Goose just outside, just like in a plain normal setting. And it really works. It really works. And of course, that's when you get the amazing Berlin song, Take My Breath Away, when he said, I gotta go, and he's walking up, puts the white shirt on, and he's like, I gotta go, I got a date. And Goose is like, come on, just one more game. And now in hindsight, you're going, come on, give Goose one more game. He's about to die.
I know, right?
Just give it to him. Give it to Goose. The poor guy, he's going, come on. And then of course, you hear Slider in the background, making fun of him.
You pussy.
Mother Goose, you pussy. And I was like, oh, son of a bitch, Maverick. But he had to get that Poontang, he had to get that Charlie. But it's a great.
It's a scene that if this was a real story, that would be something that these guys would be doing in real life too. It's a good team building, exercise, and that, like you said, it's a good way to show camaraderie between all these guys. That they're competing for the number one spot in the Top Gun, but they're also still they're buddies too.
Yeah, they're still having fun, and it's one of those things. And it was actually, I mean, the reason why this film was made was because of this article in 1983. You guys know about that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You want to talk about it, Benjamin?
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was a 1983 magazine article on it was a California magazine, and it profiled Navy pilots training at Fighter Town outside of San Diego. And it's a huge article. He's got pictures of aerial, the shots and whatnot, and just the friendship and this competition of 10 weeks. And that's what got this whole movie started. This is what Jerry Bruckheimer and Don Simpson, read this is going, this is like perfect for a film. and nobody wanted it for a while. And there was like directors that passed on it. Kathryn, you ready for this?
Hmm.
And it's crazy. It's two horror directors. One was David Cronenberg. He passed on it,
That
and
would have been
so did
so weird.
that would be weird, right? Here's
Weird.
another one. You ready?
Mhm.
John Carpenter passed on
I'd
this.
heard that one. Yeah,
That's
That
and
would have
I
been
would hate it.
interesting. I don't think it would have worked so well, but
It would have been
the soundtrack.
horrible. Can you? Oh my God!
he would have
Yeah,
written his own. That's right. He would
he
have wrote
would have. Oh my God! Can you imagine how horrible that would have been? A John Carpenter synthetic.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God, Tony Scott. Thank God for him.
Everything came together perfectly, as it should be.
Well, and you had mentioned earlier about how like the volleyball sequence felt like a commercial. I had seen that Tony Scott had been doing commercials before he got tapped to do Top Gun, because his first film that he did called The Hunger was a complete
Mhm.
disaster, which I find to be a fun vampire film. It's fun.
I think it's
But
great.
it failed at the box office big time. So he wasn't a hot commodity director. So he went on to do all these commercials. And I saw they showed one of a Saab car
Mm.
commercial. And I was like, this looks exactly like what we see in the blue backgrounds and the shadows. And I'm like, I can see why he was tapped to work on this film. See, you can direct commercials and then become a full-fledged film director.
Oh,
So
there's
see,
so many that did, or people that started off in music videos and became big time directors.
right.
Yeah, David Fincher.
Mm-hmm. And God, Mr. Transformers.
Oh,
Michael
Michael
Bay.
Bay. Yeah. God, jeez, Michael Bay. Just thinking of him directing this, that would have been crazy.
Right?
Oh,
That would have been way over the top. Way over the
Well,
top.
and I haven't seen the sequel, Maverick, Top Gun Maverick, so I don't know regarding the special effects, because I just got done talking a couple days ago about Raiders of the Lost Ark and how the special effects are very grounded in reality and they don't have the green screens behind them. And I felt the same way with
Mm-hmm.
Top Gun, how the stunts felt very realistic without looking like, oh, exactly that they're behind a green screen. And so I don't know with CGI, as since it's come a long way so far, with the
Yeah.
special effects, how if
You're-
they
I
helped or
remember Maverick
hindered.
feeling CGI-y, but you've seen it more recently, Mark. What do you think?
Maverick is this is what's so mind-boggling about Maverick is that these pilots were filmed in the cockpit. So I mean, they're not in the front; they're in the back. But it's shot where you think they are actually in the front cockpit. So when you see them making these G pulls, they're doing those G pulls, and that's what made like Maverick so like just amazing and just like accomplishment of from what the original was when they're on a gimbal. This was all shot in the cockpit and all real time and whatnot. And you see them pushing those G's, and you see some of them almost like passing out, like in the film. And I'll tell you what, Benjamin, I can't wait for you to see Maverick because it's
It's
choice.
really good. It's really good.
It's basically chef's kiss to the original. It's almost beat the beat of what Top Gun is. But you kind of want that with this, you know? It's
Right.
just the special effects is just basically it's special because they're actually in the cockpit. They're going, "Oh my God," you could really see them, you know, having, feeling it pushing these G forces and all that, and it just puts it over the limit. I mean, they knocked it out of the park with Maverick, and just basically saved Hollywood because it was right after COVID. Like it was supposed to be released during COVID or something, and Tom Cruise was like, "No, no, 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 no. We're sitting on this one, and we're gonna wait." And it saved the movie industry at
It
least
was
for a
what
couple
people
of
did in
years.
the theater.
It,
Yeah.
it got it got people back in their butts in the theater because I saw Maverick, I think, like 8 times in the movie theater.
You single-handedly saved the theater company.
Thank you, Mark.
I saw it. I think I saw it 3 times in one day. It was like it was like my record. It's like the last time I saw the same movie in 3 times in a row the same day was The Phantom Menace back in 1999. So yeah, I was. You can say I was pretty pumped for Maverick.
I see that, but I
Well,
mean, who
and
could blame you? I
it is
mean,
a worthy sequel, Ben. But don't
that's what I hear, and I remember when it came out, and
yeah.
I you know because I hadn't seen Top Gun, I was like, oh, I'm not going to go
Yeah,
see the sequel yet until I watched Top Gun.
Thank
Um,
God for that.
right?
well, what do you think, Mark, about them doing a third one?
I'm all down for it because
Yeah.
I think it's going to be fantastic. Look, if Tom Cruise is on it and it's with the same director, they're taking their time writing it, and it's going to be good. It's going to be good. And Rooster's coming back, Miles Teller,
Mhm.
and Hangman's coming back.
Alright.
So, I mean, I think it's gonna be good. I have no problem with it. Is it gonna be better than Maverick? I don't know. Can
I
they outdo it? Can they outdo it?
I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you
This
think
one feels
about
more like a money grab than Maverick did. I guess we'll see. We'll
yeah,
see.
yeah, I mean, of course, Maverick was a money grab too. I mean, I think Top Gun was gonna be was a money well, no, they didn't know it was gonna be
No.
a money
Yeah,
grab. There was no way they knew it was gonna be $350 million.
Well, and I was looking at some of the people who they were considering casting in this film, and instead of Kelly McGillis, they were on tap to get Ali Sheedy, and she was like, "Nobody's going to watch a movie about flying planes," and
What does she
which,
know?
which I'm kind of glad because I don't see Ali Sheedy
no.
eh, doing what Kelly McGillis or being that
Yeah.
sultry. She never came off
Yeah.
as being a sultry actress, because she's
No.
too quirky in that respect,
Well,
and,
in that book that I showed you, Ben, it talked about how the Charlie character was originally written to be kind of a gymnast, like a kinda ditzy
Oh, I
gymnast.
didn't know that.
It was
What?
definitely more of a throwaway character. I could see maybe Ali Sheedy a little bit more in that, but yeah,
maybe in the
I like that
original
Charlie
draft,
is definitely more grounded.
because I
She's
also saw
kind of an
that,
older character.
Tom Cruise had a lot of involvement with the script and
Oh, yeah.
updating the script and making the script better, much to the dismay of the directors and producers.
They had
But,
no idea what who Tom Cruise was. I mean, he was coming right off of, like, Risky Business, so, I mean,
well,
Well, that's
he
something
was
I
just
admire
coming
about
in.
him is early on in his career, he had a couple fouls, and he said, "I'm never gonna let myself be in a situation where I'm in a movie that's not gonna do well or that's not gonna be satisfactory for me," and so he was very careful about picking which directors he wanted to work with and making sure the quality of the product he was doing was going to be up to his standards.
but Mark, I'll go back to what you were saying with because this film shot Tom Cruise into superstardom. He's still a huge commodity these today, and this has been decades
Mhm.
that he's been still a number one box office draw, no matter what he really does. And then he picks interesting projects, even if he does some similar, like the Mission Impossible
And Mission
franchise
Impossible.
is
I'm glad that's
same,
over.
same, same, same. But every once in a while, you'll get things thrown in like Tropic Thunder and Eyes Wide Shut, and these movies that feel more personal to him than just a cash grab.
Yeah.
Um, I'd like to see him do something that another Oscar nominated
It's coming
caliber
up.
Yes.
role.
It's
I
coming up.
because
Digger.
it is surprising that he still has not won an Academy Award
Mhm.
yet.
He has won an Academy Award, but it's more of an appreciation,
Oh, yeah.
Like
and
we're
that doesn't count.
Yeah,
we're
that
so
doesn't
sorry we didn't give you one for a movie.
Yeah.
Here you go, a
Here you go.
consolation
And
prize.
and it wasn't even during the Oscars, so those bastards. It's like,
yeah.
you gotta do that, like, during the Oscars. I mean, that's pretty big,
Yeah,
but
they started doing that for all these these big
hate it.
stars, and even the ones that were
Hate
from
it.
golden ages, and they cut them all out, and we're like, but these people are like, this is what we want to watch. This is the thing we're here
Right.
for.
Exactly.
But
No, his new upcoming film is called Digger, and, I
yes,
think this is gonna be the one. I really do. It's really out of the box. I believe he's all in prosthetics. He plays an old guy or something like that,
Yeah.
and I think this might be the one.
Oscars
Finally,
love
that
that. Oscars love those performances.
well, it now that he's done with, the Mission Impossible films, I mean, now he could concentrate on more character-driven, films that we want to see him in, like since, I mean, he hasn't done like a serious role since I think Magnolia,
Yeah.
which
Right.
is crazy
It's
to
a
think
long
about.
time.
I mean, I love the Mission Impossible films until like the last two. Like, thank you, Tom, for risking your life and all that, all with all those stunts. But I'm over it now. It's like I want to see you act again. I want to see him direct. I want to see
Oh,
him
that'd be
direct
cool.
now. That would be great. He's at the age. He can't do the action flicks anymore. I mean, he's too old. I mean, he can do it, but it's not fitting anymore. His face is not fitting doing these stunts anymore. It's time to take it easy, Tom. You did your action. You got it out of your system.
Let's start wrapping up a little bit. And
You want to wrap it up? We haven't even talked about the ending. What are
well,
you talking about?
that's where I want to start heading to.
Oh, okay, Benjamin.
Well, Mark, let's talk about the ending.
Well, first I did want to talk about the flaw in
Oh,
Top
Yes, the
Gun.
flaw. Yes.
The flaw, and that's when Goose dies. Not that the flaw was Goose dying, but I thought the music for it was the same repetitive music for like I swear it was like 15 minutes. It was just like 15 minutes of Maverick just grieving, and it was just one shot after the other. And the problem was it was the same music. It was dun 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 dun, dun, and it just kept going, and it really halted the film. It's like, all right, Goose is dead. It's sometimes it's time to go to the bathroom. It's just you take a big breath and all right, here we go. And and it's a hard watch. Seeing you know, Goose's wife and all that kind of stuff. But I think it drags on a little bit too long, and you don't really need to. I guess it's like you had to see Maverick deal with Viper, and then you had to deal with the same basically story with Carol, and then you did it with Iceman. When he's just sitting there and it just went a little bit too long, and that's my only flaw was like the music with it. It was so repetitious, and it was like a good like 10 minutes of like, all right, let's ramp it up a little bit because it was such an adrenaline, high octave, film, and then it just grinds to a halt for 10 minutes, and it's hard to get back into it. But they of course, they did ramp it up and whatnot, but I thought it just took a little bit too long with the Maverick scenes and him grieving. All right, let's get to the end.
So we get to the end where Maverick is deciding to just finish his career, doesn't want to do this anymore because he can't go on without Goose. And I believe now we've gone into the big fighter sequences and
Mhm.
the fighting the real enemy that's coming through. And he's been asked to go over to fight, and he's just like, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. But he finally ends up relenting and going over just to help out and to be there. And yeah, it's a really intense sequence because not only do you have the fighter pilots just going after the enemy, you also have the mental issues that Maverick is having and facing while he's sitting there thinking about Goose and how he's going to he feels he can't do it, and he's like, go back, go back, go back. So we get to see another problem with Maverick having to solve that problem, and everyone's like, you can do this, you can do this. And um
Except Iceman. Iceman's just like, I don't want him going up in the air with me.
right.
It's like the
Which
hell with that. I don't
don't
blame
blame
him.
him.
He's a head case. He's an
Yeah.
absolute head case. And it's crazy that the Navy's going, yeah, he's a head case, but
I'll
he
send him
is
anyway.
like he
We need
ranked fourth out of Top Gun Academy or something like that. That's where he like ranked because like he just qualified with the
Mhm.
amount of points he had. So he's like ranked fourth. So they had him, quote unquote, no pun intended, like in the wings as a wingman, just waiting.
Yeah.
I know you've got kind of an issue, the teeter-tottering effect between, like, I understand where Val Kilmer's character is coming from. Like, he understands that this guy has had traumatic experience. He's not going to be 100% involved with this fighting pilot. And then you've got Tom Skerritt's character who's like, he knows that the only way Maverick
Mhm.
is going to get through this is if he goes up and flies. because
Right.
he knows that this is in his blood. He has to. This is
You
going
just
to
gotta
get
push
him to.
through. Yeah.
It's going to get him past the first grieving step,
Mhm.
and you kind of see both reactions happening with Maverick, where he's, I can't do this, and then finally he's like, he sees or holds on to Goose's dog tags,
Which is
and he's
great.
like, "Tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. Tell me what
Talk
to
to
do.
me,
Tell me what
Goose.
to do."
Talk to me, Goose. Talk to me.
And finally gets the courage to go ahead and attack.
It just
Um,
throttles in. Just throttles in. Oh gosh, man, it just I'm getting chills on my arm right now. It just
I
comes
mean,
in, and it's great. It's great because he's going. Maverick's re-engaging. Everyone's like cheering, yay! I'm like, why is everybody cheering? It's like he disengaged. He left his wingman, and the only one that doesn't make a single reaction is Stinger, the bald-headed guy. He's like, yeah, re-engage, you idiot. Like, what do you mean? It was perfect. It was perfect.
no, I thought, that could have been a very hokey moment of him like holding on to, but I think because we were so invested in Goose, that this moment of, I think we all at some point or another would hold on to something
Yeah.
close to us and be like, have that energy, whatever type of energy it might be, going through your system, as you like really like think about like, okay, somebody talk to me, and then
Mhm.
something in your conscious then decides I can do this.
Yeah,
Um,
it's beautiful.
And once he engages and saves the day, as it were, he gets to do requests for a fly through,
Right.
which I have to say, I love the fact that it happens twice. This whole fly through, first is not asking and just going, and
Both to the same.
the poor guy with the coffee. I kept sitting there going, "Don't drink the coffee, you idiot! Don't do it. Haven't you learned yet?" And it just spills right all over him. And
A
I mean,
great moment the first time, and it's a great callback the second time.
we've all
God
had that
damn it,
moment
that's twice.
and we've all had that moment of spilling hot coffee on ourselves every once in a while, and understand how that feels. But
I
I mean, I
have.
was sort of like, haven't you learned yet? Why don't you wait until after he flies by, then take a sip of your
Or
coffee?
just tell him yes, you know he's gonna do it anyway.
Right, exactly.
Deny the pattern's full.
Yeah, so that was Top Gun, and I really loved it, and I enjoyed it. I had a
That's
good time
wonderful.
watching it, and I do recommend it as a fun film to just really, I don't know, it's Tom Cruise at his best, one of his best performances, and in fact, I think I would say most of the actors' best performances that I've seen of theirs, and they really not Ridley Scott, Tony Scott, his brother, um, really did a good job with bringing it all together to make a really interesting and fun action film that could have just been just a typical summer throwaway movie had it
Yeah.
been put in somebody else's hands, or something, if it had been David Cronenberg, something odd and
It's something way too
bizarre.
That would have been horrible.
um, but so let's get your closing thoughts. Like what how would you when you recommend this to people? Like, tell us what you would say and what you feel.
Go ahead, Kathryn.
I mean, I think this is pretty much a perfect movie. I understand where Mark's coming from. I can see that. But yeah, it's just like I said, it's got something for everybody. It's a perfect summer popcorn movie. The music's great, the actors are great. It's so much fun. It's got comedy, it's got tragedy. It runs the whole gamut. It's got love. So I would recommend this to anyone just looking for a good movie.
Yeah, I agree with Kathryn. It's in my top 10 of favorite films of all time. It's very nostalgic for me. Like, I crashed on a Kawasaki Ninja 600. I I still wear the white shirts. I love the sunglasses. I grew up. I tried sex stuff as Top Gun. I mean, this movie really impacted me, and I really think for a film like this that impacted so many other people and just a generation, just really proves it, and how it still holds up from 1986, 40 years ago, and how it still holds up and is still thrilling. It's still beautiful to watch. The acting is so fun to watch. I mean, it's not peak acting, but you could tell that like everybody was really taking it seriously,
Mhm.
and that's what really carried the film. And Benjamin, I was so worried, over the weeks of you watching this film. I was going, I don't think Benjamin's gonna like this film. I don't think so. And I was ready to fight. I was ready to fight, and I was gonna fight for my film. And I'm over the moon, Benjamin, that you love this film. I'm so happy about it. And yeah, just watching you experience these films for the first time is what makes me listen to your podcast over the every time it comes out, because I really think you got something hot coming, man, going on here,
And
because it's really fun to listen to.
yeah, and it's so interesting to see my journey as a cinephile, because I was so serious at the beginning of like, these are the films that I must see, like
Yeah.
Godfather and all these and Gone with the Wind and everything that's like what people consider to be like the top
Mhm.
tier films, that it took me a while to start like opening up to these what people consider to be more of a summertime thrill, or not really anything that's quote serious. And it really was a disadvantage for me, because and I was sort of like, why did it take me so long for some of these movies to like really go in and just let my hair down and just like
Yeah.
not focus on the fact that it has to be high art to be a good movie.
Correct.
And that's why I think going into this, I really didn't go in with high expectations. Like I know that it had been told to me about like where this film sits with a lot of people, but I didn't let that skew my judgment when I went in, because I didn't want to have like my expectations to be so high
I love
that
that.
if I had gone in and then I was like disappointed, then it would have been like
That's always a problem,
overrated.
yeah.
But so I was just like throwing that out and like, I'm just going to go in with this open mind. I know what I'm going in for. I've I'm ready to just enjoy myself. And I mean, just even my walking out of the main film, I was just like, you're doing a disservice to this movie that I still haven't seen, and I'm upset by the fact of this, that you've decided to just make it this stretched film, that I'm like,
Mhm.
nope, I'm not going
Yeah.
to let that also. I was afraid that if I had stayed, I would have been like, this is what I saw, and I would have been like, I mean, I was thinking about watching it later that night, and I said, nope, I'm not in the right mood for this. And
I love
everyone needs to be
that.
everyone needs to be in the right mood for a film, especially if you've
Correct.
had a bad experience right
Mhm.
before it. You don't want to go right into watching it again, because you that's in the back of your mind.
Right.
And yeah, I just didn't want to do a disservice to the film, and I'm glad I did, because I think it would have been we would be having a different conversation, I think.
Well,
Because
it's a buddy film, Benjamin, and you watched it with a buddy. You watched it with
yeah,
Kathryn, and that's a perfect viewing. That is a perfect viewing. And I swear, I hope Kathryn or you had the volume turned up, so you really hear that throttle.
yeah, I mean, it was I was very engaged throughout the whole thing.
I
So
love it.
I mean,
I even with the slower moments, I was still engaged. Even though I was like extremely upset with what happens with Goose, which I think everyone was when they first saw the movie,
yeah.
even if they knew what was coming. But I think it still hits really hard for that, especially when a good character that you love in any kind of film uh, perishes, and you're just like, really, you really have to go there. I guess you have to go there.
Oh, Benjamin, I tell you what, I can't wait for you to watch Maverick, because they really do a great homage to Goose in Maverick.
Oh, that's good.
It's wonderful. You, trust me, you're not going to forget about Goose, and Goose is not forgotten about. Trust me,
No, he's
it's all
definitely
about Goose. It's all about Goose.
he's definitely the pin that
Yeah,
Mhm.
holds everything together in the
sure,
film. And Anthony Edwards is so memorable and so enjoyable to watch,
and
and
charming.
you
Yeah,
just want to go have a drink with him, because he's such a friendly guy, and it's such a fun movie. It's just, sit back, relax, enjoy.
Thanks.
And yeah, if for those in the ultra minority who have not seen this movie, I implore you to enjoy it, especially in the summertime, because it is a summertime film, um, and it may make you go out to Yep, put on your shades.
I was gonna say, with it being the 40th anniversary, I know outdoor screenings are really popular in the summer. I bet this will be a popular one for people to
I'm
show.
sure,
Mm.
especially with this anniversary and being such a favorite film of many people. Um, I encourage you to, if you find it in an actual theater setting that's not stretching the
It's not
film across,
pretty small.
then definitely go see it. Otherwise, on your screens at home, I think you get a good thrill out of it. So,
Yeah. Awesome.
well, thank you both for joining me on this, and Mark, thank you for pushing me to watch this movie. I'm sure I've got to go and look at my list, maybe make a new list of movies that I haven't seen that I need to see in
Right.
my repertoire.
You got a
And
lot. You already have years ahead of you.
I know, right? But I want to thank you both again for joining me. This is always fun,
Oh,
and
happy to
I'm sure we'll be back again for another trip down memory lane to another fun cultural experience,
I hope
something that
so.
hits. And yeah, so thank you both.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you. This was great.
Thanks for having me.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Adios.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd really appreciate it if you could like, subscribe, and leave a review. It helps more film and coffee lovers find the show. You can catch up on all our previous episodes on your favorite podcast platform. And be sure to check out realbeans.com for show notes, pairing details, and more. If you'd like to support Real Beans and help keep the show going, head over to realbeans.com/support. And hey, if you've got a film or coffee recommendation you think would make a great pairing, drop us a message on Instagram at @real_beans. I'd love to hear your suggestions. And so until next time, sip, watch, repeat.